Spare, a human story behind the crown. Introduction: more than a royal memoir. When people hear the name Prince Harry, they often think of palaces, crowns, and fairy tales. But in Spare, Harry tells a very different story. This book isn't about luxury. It's about loss, identity, and the deep human need to be seen and understood. The title Spare comes from an old royal phrase: the heir and the spare. One child is born to rule, the other as backup. From the beginning, Harry explains that he was raised knowing his role was secondary, and that belief shaped his entire life. A childhood marked by loss. The emotional core of Spare begins with the death of Princess Diana. Harry was only 12 years old when his mother died, and the trauma of that moment echoes throughout the book. He describes walking behind her coffin while millions watched, yet feeling completely alone inside. As a child, Harry couldn't fully accept that his mother was gone. Instead, he buried the pain, convincing himself she might still be alive somewhere. This unresolved grief becomes a shadow that follows him into adulthood. Life as the spare. Growing up in the royal family, Harry constantly felt compared to his older brother, Prince William. William was the future king. Harry was the extra. Harry describes feeling misunderstood, underestimated, and sometimes invisible. He wasn't allowed to define himself freely. Every mistake became public, every emotion controlled by royal expectations and media narratives. Over time, this pressure led to anger, rebellion, and self-destructive behavior. Harry admits openly to poor choices, emotional confusion, and struggling to find purpose. Escape through the military. One of the most grounding parts of the book is Harry's time in the British Army. In the military, he wasn't a prince. He was just another soldier. For the first time, he felt equal, respected, and useful. The structure and brotherhood helped him feel whole again, even as he faced the realities of combat and loss. The army gave him something the royal world never did: identity without a title. The media as an invisible enemy throughout Spare, the media plays a constant role, often as an antagonist. Harry describes how tabloids shaped public opinion, invaded privacy, and turned personal pain into entertainment. He believes the media's obsession didn't just harm him, but contributed to the suffering of his mother and later, his wife. This battle with the press becomes one of the driving forces behind many of his life decisions. Meghan and choosing love meeting. Meghan Markle marked a turning point. Harry describes their relationship as a moment of emotional clarity, a chance to build a life rooted in love rather than duty. But as Meghan entered royal life, the same patterns Harry had endured began to repeat. Relentless media attacks, lack of protection, and internal family tension pushed Harry to a breaking point. Eventually, he faced a choice: remain loyal to the institution or protect his family. He chose his family, breaking away from the crown. The decision to step back from royal duties wasn't sudden. It was painful, complex, and deeply personal. In leaving, Harry wasn't rejecting his family, but rather the system that, in his view, prioritized image over mental health and tradition over compassion. This part of the book is about courage, the courage to walk away from what the world expects in order to survive and heal. Healing, therapy, and truth. One of the most powerful messages in Spare is Harry's openness about mental health. He speaks honestly about therapy, emotional breakdowns, and learning to confront buried trauma. Rather than portraying strength as silence, Harry redefines strength as vulnerability. This honesty is what makes Spare more than a royal memoir. It becomes a story many people can relate to, regardless of status. Wrap-up. What Spare is really about. At its heart, Spare is not about royalty. It's about grief that never healed, identity shaped by comparison, and the lifelong struggle to be seen as more than a role. It's about choosing truth over tradition, love over expectation, and healing over silence. Prince Harry's message is simple but powerful. You are more than the label given to you, and it's never too late to reclaim your story.